On January 6, 2025, at 11:15 a.m., a man named David Morrow was sitting on the balcony of his apartment enjoying the view of the Pacific Ocean. It was a normal day like always. Then, about 5 miles away from his apartment, he saw a fire with raging sparks on the hills of Pacific Palisades. Within just an hour, the fire grew so much that the smoke completely hid the mountain. If seen in satellite view, this fire was first reported on the hills of Palisades, but after a few hours it spread to the areas of Eatonhurst, Kenneth Getty, Scurry Ball, and San Fernando. At the time when this fire broke out, winds of 100 kilometers per hour were blowing here, whose direction was from inland to the ocean. Now the question arises here that if the fire first started in Palisades, which is very close to the ocean, then how did the fire spread from there in the opposite direction of the wind to a distance of 30 to 40 kilometers? This fire has devastated an area of 38,000 acres or 150 square kilometers. More than 12,000 buildings and houses have been destroyed and 180,000 people have left their homes. This is the most destructive fire in the history of Los Angeles, which could not be extinguished completely even during the production of this video. Every possible effort to extinguish the fire seems to be failing. Water bombers are throwing 45,000 liters of water at a time, which seems like a few drops in front of this fire. Special chemicals are also being thrown with the help of water bombers, but all the efforts seem to be going in vain in front of nature. In California, where there is already a shortage of water, due to which fire hydrants were often lying empty. Due to spreading in 7 different areas, firefighters and their equipment also got divided, and when winds of 70 to 100 kilometers per hour hit the fire started flaring up even more. Before knowing the real reason for the spread of Los Angeles wildfire, let us see how many times wildfires have attacked California before this. If we look at the data of the last 25 years, then California has been a hot spot for wildfires. In the year 2003, Cedar Fire attacked 273,000 acres in San Diego County. The fire, which started on October 25, died down on November 4, 2003. In 2017, Tubbs Fire burnt 36,000 acres, and this also started again in the month of October. In 2017, Thomas Fire reduced 280,000 acres to ashes. Started in December and ended in January. On November 8, 2018, the Camp Fire burned 5 lakh acres and ended after 17 days on November 25. Similarly, in 2020, the Glass Fire attacked 67,000 acres, and it also started in September and ended after a full month in October. If we look at the dates of all these wildfires, one thing is very common in them: winters. That is, these wildfires have occurred only in the winter months, and right now the Los Angeles wildfire also broke out in peak winters. So, what is the reason that most of the wildfires in California's history have occurred only in winters? The answer to this question is hidden in a phenomenon called Santa Ana winds. Yes, Santa Ana winds are hot and dry winds that blow in Southern California and Baja California, especially during autumn and winters. If seen on the whole Earth, in the east of California there is only desert as far as the eye can see, which is also called Mojave Desert or Great Basin. The sun's heat heats up the desert, due to which the air pressure starts increasing. On the other hand, if we talk about the ocean, the air here is cold and the pressure is low. We had read in the 6th grade that air travels from high pressure to low pressure. The greater the difference in pressure, the faster the air will travel. And something similar happens here as well. Santa Ana winds move rapidly from southeast California towards the ocean. These dry and hot winds suck the moisture wherever they pass. Due to this, the entire region becomes dry in this season. Bushes and trees become completely dry, which easily become capable of catching fire. Santa Ana winds turn the entire forest into fuel for wildfires. If a fire breaks out by mistake, then the wind blows away the moisture. So strong winds have further fueled this fire. Burning coal spread rapidly and wildfires go out of control in the blink of an eye. Now it should be that the wildfire should spread in the same direction in which the wind is blowing, but in the case of Los Angeles, the exact opposite was seen. First of all, the fire was seen near the Palisades, which is close to the ocean, and later it spread to the inland areas. To understand the real reason why this is so, we have to understand an interesting phenomenon which is called mountain wave rotor. The side of the mountain on which the wind directly hits is called the windward side, and the other side of the mountain where the wind has to go is called the leeward side. What happens is that when the windward side stops the wind, then during that time a vortex effect is created on the leeward side, and in this vortex, the wind keeps rotating in a circular manner, that is, the direction of the wind above the mountain is in one direction, while the direction of the wind below the mountain is in the other direction, in the case of Los Angeles as well. This phenomenon has a very big role in the Palisades. Where the fire was first reported, it is on the leeward side, and here due to the mountain wave rotor, the wind was generated in the opposite direction from the top of the mountain, which became the biggest reason for the fire to spread to the inland areas. Once a wildfire grows very much, then it gives rise to many strange phenomena. Some such phenomena are very difficult to predict. One of them is fire tornado. This is a rare and dangerous phenomenon that is formed during intense wildfires. It is like a tornado, but inside it there is only fire and heat. The fire heats up the air immediately and pulls it upwards. Due to the heat, the hot air rises very fast and cold air comes from below to fill that space. This updraft creates a rotational motion, which makes the vortex even more terrifying by pulling the surrounding dry bushes into the fire tornado. Now this fire tornado starts dominating the wind blowing in the area and starts generating its own wind inside it, whose direction is also very difficult to predict, but there are high chances that it will increase the wildfire upwards along the mountain. Wildfire is a reality, and due to climate change, it is monitored with more frequency in the coming years. Nowadays, with the help of artificial intelligence, the direction of the fire is also predicted, and then all this information is sent to the firefighters. The firefighters try to spray chemicals around the place where the fire has started so that the fire does not spread much. But in Los Angeles, when the firefighters first controlled the fire in one area, the fire spread to another place through the wind. This was the first recorded wildfire in the history of America. The fire broke out near Michigan in 1871. In this wildfire, 12 lakh acres were covered in ashes and 2,500 lives were lost. From the Pico fire of 1871 to today's Los Angeles wildfire, nature is indicating to us that controlling fire is still almost impossible. But if we try to understand nature and instead of fighting climate change, try to live according to it, then perhaps the cycle of wildfires can be stopped again. Hope you will like and share this video.